Hi everyone, this is Amy from Chilling with Amy, Paint and Canvas, and today we're going to paint basically some cute little cardinals on a fence post. And I'm going to be using some, basically 3 or 4 brushes. My larger, it's a 3/4 flat brush, and I'm going to be using a 1/2 inch flat brush, and I will be using a round brush. I'm going to use a small number 1. You could use a liner if you wanted to. And I'm also going to be using a larger brush here. This is a number 24, but that's basically for the biggest part of the background there. We might slip in another brush here and here, mainly probably a number 3 round brush. Paint colors I'm going to be using. We're going to, of course, have a palette. I'm using a paper plate with the sections there. It makes a great palette. But we're going to be using some white, just regular titanium white or just regular white. Put a fair amount of white in my spot here, and another little section of white. I got that bottle about empty. Because I'm going to be making some gray, and I want to have one for white and one not. And of course we're going to be using some red. You can use pretty much any kind of red you wanted. I'm going to just straight reds. You can use bright red or any kind of red, basically, for the red cardinal. I have a little bit of gold. King's gold is what I use. I'm going to use that for the female cardinal. So I'll put that, a little bit of that out on my palette. I'll go ahead and get started here with the background. And I have some water to clean out my brushes and paper towels to dab them up. To start with, I've got sketched out on this black canvas. This is a 12 by 16 canvas, and I'm going to start with doing the background around. I have it sketched out, but we will probably be doing more of freehanding. That's the word I'm looking for here. But I want to do kind of a gray hint background. It's kind of a snowy day. We've got a little bit of snow, and I got a little bit of Caribbean blue. I want to add to my background a little bit. I want to have a little bit of a cool blue tint to it. And with the when you're mixing that colors, remember the acrylics will dry a little bit darker. So you want to keep it a little lighter than what you really want, because you know when it's going to dry a little bit darker. Okay. Now we're going to just basically, I have a black canvas. It's just not a particular reason. It does sometimes affect the way your paints will go on, but I just happen to have this already primed with black, so I thought I'd use it. But you can just do the same thing with a white canvas. You don't have to have black. It does make, if you're pre-sketching, it makes it a little bit harder to, see where you want to put stuff. But, and you want to get that on there pretty good. And I'm going to go around. We're doing a fence post. So I've got a nice little old rough fence post here. It's an old one with a little wire on it. And that's where these 2 cardinals have decided to perch. Now I'm going around where I kind of pre-sketched where they're going to be at, just to make it a little more visible, make it a little bit easier for later. But I will show you how I come with those shapes of how to do the cardinals, so you'll get to learn how to do that. And I try to add like my black to my white instead of vice versa, because it's easier to make your color. If you want to make it a little bit darker, it's easier to add the dark, but it takes a whole lot of white to, if you get it too dark to start with. Christmas weather. We're in a couple days after Christmas, so I'd start thinking about we've got some snow on the ground. We did get some snow for Christmas this year, and it starts making me think about all the cardinals and snow and just those little red berries and just getting in the color here. And I'm doing my sides. I want that on the sides. Putting some on my bottom here. And I like the kind of the brush strokes in here. I want those different tones, a little bit of the, you know, the gray tones and a little bit of white in there. So that's okay for that. I have that in there. On this side here. This is a nice paint at home kind of painting, or I could do that, certainly do it as a paint and sip painting. You can do that at home. And this is just putting in a nice background, like I said. This kind of gray background here. And then as I'm going to take some more of the white, and I'm just going to start coming in here with some of that white here and there. Put some uneven white patches in there. We'll kind of blend them a little bit. Just doing some little crisscross type strokes here just to kind of blend it a little bit. I'm not trying to blend it completely, but I don't want any harsh edges either. I want it kind of faded in there. This gives it a little, there we go. Okay, so then you can put your big brush, rinse it out, and you want to rinse it out good, dry that off. Into doing this fence post next. That's your next step. Okay, so with that we're going to get some of our browns out. I got some nutmeg brown, burnt umber. I'm just using some apple barrel paint, so you can use any of the brands you want. And then I got my black. Some of that burnt umber. Take some of that. A little bit of that black. This is going to be, like I said, an old fence post. I'm going to just first start putting in some color here. Here a little bit so I can paint the edge. So you can see I got a mix of colors in there, those grays in there. And that's fine. It's not going to be perfectly even. It's an old fence line. Broke off of that fence line as well. A little piece broke out. That's what she's perched up on there. Just getting in some colors here. Use the tip of your brush here and angle it up. little jaggedy edges there, and we're going to put a little snow on there, so it doesn't have to be too detailed. Same brush, we're going to go into the black, and I'm going to do it straight up and down to get like an edge to it. I'm going to put a little bit of black in here and indicate where some of these grains and splits and things are. Decide basically too that, you know, we're going to have some highlights in here. They're going to be coming down this way, so pretty much all of our lights and stuff will be on one side. We'll have a little bit here and there. Some up here. Here. Great little technique with this for wood grains is using your palette knife. You can get some nice little shapes and stuff with that. Just kind of putting in some lines here right now, just a little bit of, maybe right in here. We're going to have a little section there that's kind of got a rotted little hole there, so we'll put that dark in there for now. That out. I'm going to take that other brush, that 3/4 flat. I'm going to go in here and we're going to put in some highlighted areas or lighter areas. And I've got some of that nutmeg brown. I'm going to touch it with some white. And I'm just going to load some on my brush here. I'm going to come back in here with my gray here. I've got a couple little spots that I really don't want to where I dripped. Clean it out. So taking some of that nutmeg brown, a little bit of that white in there, and a little bit of gray. And I'm just going to start, like, I'm going to lay the brush kind of sideways, and I'm going to start coming in here, just kind of like dop and just lightly touch it, and just kind of dragging my brush down. It up. That's the section that's going to get some of that. So a little bit extra white on there. I really don't want that, quite that white on that side. A little bit of canvas there. Let that to dry. Alright, so I'm going to rinse out this brush and dry it a little bit. So I'm going to take some of that white. I'm going to start with some white and a little bit of the gray in there. And we're going to come over here on these sides here. The bird's kind of sitting on the top. We know we're going to have some snow there. We're going to touch these edges here. twigs sticking up out of the fence post there is definitely kind of rugged. They do have a little bit of snow built up there. Over here on this side. And then right down in there, we get a little pocket of snow built up right in that little crease there. Hit and miss. You don't want too much white in there. It's hit and miss there. Go around with some of that white. We're going to go around that area that we blackened out. This is going to be like a preference of yours, how much texture or how much grain you want this to be. You want it smoother, you want it more of the texture look. Definitely your preference there. Up here here this way a little bit more for that snow. I'll build up a little bit more right here. Up here on top of that one. Okay. Now with this one, like I said, there's some wire. So we're going to take that smaller brush and I'm just going to go into the black and I kind of twirl my brush in there. And I use a little spray bottle to mist my paints a little bit. And if your paint doesn't go on smoothly for you, you can add just a touch of water. You can either dip it in your water bucket there or spray it. Dip mine a little bit. You want the black to be, you know, pretty, not runny, but you want it to be able to glide pretty good there. So I roll my brush there. And then we're just going to kind of decide, on this particular one, I know there's going to be, we're going to have our little hooks here that it's going to hook on there and keep that wire on there. So I'm going to put those in. And from there, I'm going to start rolling this wire. Now, put a little bit of white on your one side of your brush and the black on the other if you wanted to do like a double thing. But I know that this wire just kind of comes off on this side. Comes over here. Barbed wire, so we're going to put the little things on there for that. And this one just goes kind of off our canvas here. We'll go ahead and put their little crisscrosses on there where that wire just, where those little barbs are at. out my brush here. I'm going to go into some of the white, a little touch of the gray in it. Mostly it's white. And same kind of technique, I just kind of twirl it a little bit. I want to put right here where that wire is. Now you could add a little touch of brown to it, because you know how they get kind of rusty. And that would be a nice little touch for those. Those little hooks. A little highlight over here. The one on the outside would get a little bit of highlight, where the one on the inside maybe wouldn't be highlighted. Just a little bit here, a little bit here. Let's do some little wire on there. Okay, so we got those in. Now we're going to have, we're going to do the birds and stuff, but we're going to have some berries off to the side too. But right now we're going to go ahead and get our birds kind of filled in. I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm going to take that red and I'm just going to do straight red. And I'm using my smaller brush here. And get some paint on my brush here. And now basically, we're going to paint like an egg shape, fairly larger egg shape, but it's going to be shaped with the point part going down. So we're going to start with the top part being the whiter part of our egg. And then as we come down is where it's going to go more into that point shape. Egg shape. And then he's going to have his tail there. So it's kind of like a, I've done these before, and it's kind of like a, sort of like a upside down raindrop or teardrop. So this is going to be his chest part area right there. So I'm just fill this in. And his tail's going to come down back under here. It's got that little, the feathers kind of come down. Swoosh. Then we're going to have a circle on top that's going to be for the head, and so we're going to put that up here. Think of a basic circle, but it's going to join in here with the body. And then what we'll do is we will kind of get rid of that little piece there in the back. This is his chest area here, so we want that to be kind of puffed out there. Okay. And then right in here, we're going to give him this little beak. Now, the beak comes into, side of the face a little bit, so it doesn't need to be like poking out really far. Then we'll come up here, we're going to put that little crown on him. These little feathers that come up. And I just kind of keep that, try to keep it, hold my hands up, keep it into like a feather, light feather right here. This feathers back and kind of curves back. Doesn't go down here, goes right into the head there. Okay, so that's the basic shape here. And if we think we got, maybe we want his tail to be just a little bit longer here. He's got a nice long tail, but this male bird's got to look really pretty. Try to impress the females. So that'd be really pretty. A nice long pretty tail. And we're going to put some darks and stuff in there too. So this is a basic shape of getting him started in there. And then this little guy, if we wanted to, we even want to puff him out just a little bit more in this chest area here. He's a nice puffy. He's pulling all the stops. He's getting that out there. Became a little bit lighter. And then we're going to put on this particular one, he's going to have like an area right here, and then it's going to come out, and we're going to have a wing come out right in there. So we'll bring that around. We'll just, you can add a little bit of black to that red. So you can kind of indicate here where that's going to be. We've got the wing area here, where some of that comes up here. And then down here. It's the wing sticking out there. Just put some color in there. And he's got his other wing you don't really see. It's kind of tucked right in there behind, and then it comes down here with this section. So we know we're going to put some dark of that dark in here, put it right in here in the chest area. Set there for a second. I'm going to go over here to the female, and we're going to use a little more of the golden browns colors for her. So I have some of the gold here, but we're going to start with some of these, the umber and nutmeg, and we'll add some of that gold color to it. Just want to get that more of that darker tones first. To my paint, it's a little bit thick. I want it to be a little bit easier to do. Now she's perched up over here on this side, and we're going to come over here, and we're going to kind of do the same kind of shape for her, that same kind of egg shape. This ain't going to be the exact color of her, but these are the dark colors that we're using on her. She's got a little bit of a puff on her too. These guys are faring the winter pretty good, I guess you'd say. Now with her, we're going to have a wing that's going to come over here on this side. then she's got the other wing kind of shows back in here. So we'll go ahead and put that kind of indication of that wing on the end there. And then her tail comes down, right down. Right down in between those two. Like that. Now we're going to do the same thing with her as far as the head goes. We're going to put that circle on there. Take that out a little bit. Leave a little bit of that out there. With her again, the beak is in here in this area, so it just needs to come out a little bit in that direction. And then from off here, we're going to put a little crown on her. First, kind of comes back like this, not extremely large, and again curves back, gets smaller and curves back towards the head there. Okay. I'm going to make her come down a little bit more here. I'll pick up a little bit of that white as I do it. It's okay. Now she has a little bit, of red on her. Not as much as the male does. She does some up in here.